Hello, everybody. Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna mute every. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna mute. Now, can we hear me? Okay, perfect. So I'm letting everybody pop in. We've got a bunch of waiting room right now. I'm gonna go ahead and have you guys mute yourselves if you haven't already. We'll have time to unmute. I am just gonna have us muted while we jump in. Go ahead in the comments, pop in, let us know where you're tuning in from, where you're located, what you're excited about, what you hope to get out of this. I'm going to make sure we're streaming into the Facebook group. If you guys are watching on Facebook right now and you'd love to participate and ask questions, feel free to jump on the Zoom link so you can grab the Zoom link and hop in. Okay. So let's grab this, make sure we're good. I'm going to let everybody else in. We have a big group. Good morning, Indiana, South Carolina, Nevada. Ooh, we have lots. Okay, here we go. Hopping on. Ooh, another Indiana. We have lots of Indiana. I think we have some Canada people, which is exciting. Okay, let's go right here. Orlando, Florida. I wish I was there. That would be nice. We're going to go full screen. And get this out of the way. Okay, I think everybody that is watching live is in now. I'm gonna go right here. Ooh, Oklahoma. Hi, Bree. Here we go. Okay. Nope, we have more people in the waiting room. Grabbing all of these. They're all joining. Okay. If you are just popping on, let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know what you are excited about, and we will get started. Can you see my screen okay? Go ahead and let me know. You can see my screen. Hi, Sierra. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Lindsay. I'm excited for all of this. Yay. Cassie's from Piqua. That still blows my mind. Okay. Here we go. Let's get to it. I'm gonna mute. Boom. Okay. Welcome. This is Go Time. This is our marketing workshop to get you motivated, get you excited, and get some bookings on the calendar. So I want you to go at this with the idea that you get to take whatever you want from this and implement it in your own way. So whatever I say, you get to take what you love and keep those bits, and the rest you can ditch. Okay, this is a framework. You're supposed to freestyle the framework. So let's kind of go through. If you're new here, most of you have been in a lot of my containers before, but we have some new faces. So if you've never met me, hi, I'm Kiera. I'm a wife, I'm a mom to Cece. She just turned 2. I'm multi-passionate, lots of ideas, lots of businesses. I went full-time boudoir photographer at 19. I'm in Indiana, not a very big town, kind of country. There is some cities around. I retired my husband from teaching to work full-time. He's our studio manager now. We have a studio average of 5,300, and then I opened a second business, which is this mentoring business, to help other creative entrepreneurs live their boldest life with expansion and gratitude. So my main mission is to help you guys create your boudoir business in your own way, not just because that's what everybody else tells you to do, not just another copy and paste guide that somebody tells you have to do this, this, and this. I want you to create your business your own way so that it works for you and your schedule. So what I invite you to do is to get comfy, use the chat as your workbook. So you are invited to participate, you are invited to comment, to ask questions. Go ahead and put them in the comments if you have anything as we go along. And we'll go from there. So what we're going to do today is release and reframe your beliefs around launching, whether this be a model call, a promo, whatever it is. We're going to reframe all of the negative beliefs that you might be holding on to. We're going to prepare your systems and strategies for prevention mode, identify your current audience types, which I don't see people talking about this, and I'm super excited to dig into. We're going to understand your buyer behavior, secure sweet spot pricing, decide on your launch framework, learn the logistics of your offer, and craft content that attracts your soulmate clients. So if you participate in this live, by the end of it, you should have a framework that you'll be able to launch a promotion. So this is very like hands-on. We're going to work through some ideas, and hopefully this gives you the tools, the techniques, and the understanding to decide what you need to bring forth in your marketing to book your calendar. So I want to let you know that this is not going to be like some big, hard new strategy that you've never done. It's the micro shifts that lead to the itty bitty changes that create massive momentum. So a lot of this, you're going to have the foundations of. You're going to have done bits and pieces of this before. It's the understanding the psychology behind it and understanding current buyer behavior as to why that's going to work for you now. So we're going to first get into the buyer or the marketing mindset. We're letting more people in. You guys, this is a massive group. This is exciting. So marketing mindset. Scale of 1 to 10, please pop in the chat. We're already starting workshopy vibes here. What are your current beliefs around promotions, launches? So this could be model calls, flash sales, last minute openings. So in the comments, if you were to launch a model call today, if you were to launch a flash sale today, what are your beliefs behind it? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being absolutely no way, 10 being yes, I'm going to sell it out. What's your believability that this will be a successful launch? Go ahead in the chat. Let me know. Are you super excited? Yes, you can do this. Are you no way, no how? All of my launches have been a flop. I don't know what to do. Okay, we've got 7. Stephanie's a 7. Charlotte's a 7. 7. Reva says, I know I block last minute openings. 7 in believability. Last minute openings are a struggle. Model calls are way better. Ooh, Joe, this is good. We're going to get into your audience buyer behavior of this round. So let's see here. People are still joining. Charlotte, I just got your message. Here we go. We're just making sure everybody's in. So what are your believabilities? Scale of 1 to 10, 7, 8, 7, 7, 5. Before proximity was 2. Now I'm at a 7. We've got some 6s, 3s. I blocked these for sure. My launch is like garbage. Okay, we're going to shift this energy. 4 to 5. Model calls are a 10. Sales are a 6. Ooh, I love these. Closer to a 5, but it's been more like a 2, 6, or 7. Okay, so this is what we're doing. We're digging into our mindset, because if we don't fix our mindset, the strategy that we're going to get into is not going to help. So what I invite you guys to do is, can you believe that your past experiences don't define your current reality? Do you feel like you're in the mindset to shift that? So yes or no in the comments. Your past experiences don't define your current reality. So what I want you guys to do right now is we're going to release all of the no-shows. We're going to release all of the you're too expensive. We're going to release all of the low engagement, the algorithm's not showing my stuff. People are going to cancel. It's not going to work. And we're going to do a complete mindset reshift. We're going to do a visualization so that when we get into the strategies, we can actually implement and utilize them. If you don't think so, you know damn well Kira's going to change the mindset. Miranda, I love that. So now that you've identified where you're at on a scale of like 1 to 10, how you're feeling, we're going to release expectations. So wherever you are, we're just going to do a launch cleanse, okay? Before we can get into strategy, before we can get into tangible things, let's just do a launch cleanse. We are going to clear past beliefs. We're going to get rid of experiences that no longer serve us, any energetic tethers that could be hindering us from our current business's success. So what this means is go ahead and just close your eyes wherever you're at. Nobody's going to be looking at you. We're all going to be focusing on our own things. And we're just going to tap into a little deep breathing, a mindset clear, releasing expectations, releasing any past experiences. So go ahead and close your eyes. Take a couple of deep breaths in, whatever feels good. It can be slow. It can be fast, whatever's going to settle you into the space beneath you. Deep breath in, out your mouth. This is our launch cleanse. I invite you to imagine roots growing out the sides of your hips. These roots are really strong. Think of them like tree roots going all the way down into the center of the earth. These roots anchor you in. You are supported, you are held, you are divinely guided. You're exactly where you need to be right now. There's nothing else that needs your attention. There's nobody else who needs you. You are completely in the right space. And while you are connected with the roots at your hips, you are also going to be welcoming in a warm golden light at the top of your head through your crown chakra. So go ahead, let this flow in. And imagine this being an energetic cleanse. This warm golden light is sweeping away any negative energies that no longer serve you, any past beliefs or experiences. So starting at the very tip top of your head, I invite you to envision your next offer. Whatever it wants to be, you're going to decipher that on this call today. This could be a model call, a flash sale. It could be a brand new type of session that you've never thought of before. And I invite you to invite this energy into your awareness right now. And starting at the top of your head, you're going to scan the front of your forehead, just noticing in your mind, where do these thoughts feel heavy? Where is there any self-doubt? Where is there any anxiety lingering in your mind, in your head, when you think of a launch, when you think of promoting your business? And just taking note, not trying to change anything yet, not trying to shift any energy, just recognizing where the heaviness is. And then I want you to allow that golden light to flow down your neck, flow down your face into your throat chakra. And again, noticing where it feels sticky. Where does it feel anxiety? Where does it feel heavy? Where does it feel like you just can't say what you want to say? This is your throat chakra, just bringing it into your awareness, noticing where your voice feels like it's not as activated as it should be when it comes to launching your offer. Allowing that golden light to seep down your shoulders, into your hands, down your chest and into your heart chakra. This is where your intention and your impact and your believability in self and your mission for your business. Noticing if there's any heaviness that needs to be moved and grabbing onto that. And now as you channel down through your torso, around your spine, through your back, breathing into this space with this warm golden light, allowing this launch cleansing energy to clear any stagnation down into your hips and your root chakra, into your sacral with all of your creative energy. This is where all of your ideas are. This is where your passion is. Maybe you've had ideas in the past and you've talked yourself out of them. This is what I invite you to allow to be cleansed, to allow to be clear. Noticing as you go down your legs, are there any stagnant energies on your legs, behind your knees and make your way down to the bottoms of your feet. Now I want you to bring into your awareness all of those hesitations, all of those limitations, those past beliefs, any past memories of launches, any past memories of failed sessions, people telling you no, people telling you you're too expensive, not booking any clients, anything that you grabbed during this cleanse, allow it to melt out the bottoms of your feet like your feet are a bathtub drain. So allow it to unplug. All of those negative energies are flowing out. They're releasing. And when you feel this, you may feel a shift. You may feel a physical sensation as it leaves your body. I invite you to take a deep breath in when you feel like those negative energies have completely drained from the bottoms of your feet back into the center of the earth. Deep breath in. Let it go. And allow that warm golden light to go all the way back up to the crown of your head and flow back through your body. You're filling that empty space with believability. You're filling that empty space now with motivation, inspiration, and the ability to create new experiences. So whenever you're ready, another deep breath in, come back to this moment. And in the comments, let me know what came up. Were you holding on to any past beliefs? Were you holding on to any experiences from a model call previously or a flash sale previously? Jump in, let me know how that visualization was. What came through for you? How are you feeling now? Are you buzzing? Are you excited? Are you like, wow, I didn't know I was holding on to that experience from 2019? Joe says, not able to book that last minute cancellation spot. I need to let that shit go. Yes, imagine that draining out of you. We're going to infuse this with new ideas. So maybe it's not a last minute cancellation. Maybe it's something completely else that you're going to work through today. What else came through? How are you guys feeling? Do you feel like you've basically cleansed your palate and are able to start fresh now? We'll give it a few, and then we're going to keep going. So what I wanted you to do was to be able to come into this with a cleansed mind so that all of the strategy that I'm going to walk you through, you're able to come in clean, clear, not holding on to the negatives. I showed up ready to go, but that was very centering. I love it. Model call struggles, being able to confidently and successfully hype enough beforehand, biggest struggle for me. Ooh, I'm going to get into the timeline for hyping today. I struggled to visualize and experience specifically, but feeling like I failed. I can't see past the failure and I can't speak. Oh, yes, you feel better. Yep, definitely slow on flash sales, last minute sessions. I either didn't fill or they were no sales. I've been holding on to so much myself in the past year. Depression and divorce allowed me to believe I was losing my business. I've needed to let this go and come back, be able to book model calls and do amazing sets. Oh yes, I feel refreshed, releasing the thoughts of being too expensive objections. My throat felt really tight. I know I need to work on not being afraid to talk to my core values. I have the fear that I don't have the audience, but trying to let that go and listen to the people who are always thinking about my business. I love this. So now that you've kind of identified what was coming through, what you were holding on to, you can take this and move forward. Being able to combine this type of cleanse with thinking of how your future self would show up helps a lot. Yes. Constantly being ghosted after pricing talk, lack of confidence about proving the value had a big lump in my heart. So these are all really good awarenesses because this is the stuff that we don't think about. We just push out a promotion, don't get any bookings, and say, oh, see, it's not working. Bookings are slow. When in reality, we're not doing the energetic work, the mindset work that it takes to fulfill a successful launch. It's mindset and strategy. That's what I love. That's what I love about doing both of these today. Okay. Step 2, preparation. So before we get into the strategy, the model call, the launch, the promo itself, we are going to go into prep mode. So preparing yourself mentally and strategically on the back end will be a huge contributor to your launch's success. You could actually be energetically blocking your promotion from booking it out if your back end is not supportive of multiple new clients at once. So what I want you to imagine is you launch this flash sale, and say you get 13 bookings in the first day. That would be absolutely incredible. If your back end is not prepared, if your workflow is not set up, you are going to be freaking out trying to manage 13, 20, even just 5 clients all at once, because everybody's emailing you with questions. Everybody's emailing you with dates. Everybody's saying, what's this? What's that? Can I set up my prepayment plan? What if I need to reschedule because of a doctor's appointment? When you launch an offer without first taking the time to strategically prepare your back end, you're going to be energetically blocking yourself. Your ego is going to protect you by saying, no way, we're not going to show up fully. We're not going to post about this again. We're not going to do a live video about our sale because that's going to give us success. And I am not set up appropriately with our systems, with our workflows for success right now. So hands up, drop it in the chat. Do you feel like you've previously set yourself up for success with your preparation? Jess says, damn, that's spot on. Macy says, guilty of this. Charlotte says, this is one thing I'm super good at. Yeah, and you help other entrepreneurs. Workflows are your jam. You are the queen. Terry says, nope, I haven't. So if you are not taking the time to set your back end up for success, this is a huge, huge impact on how many clients you book. It's almost counterintuitive because think of this. If you don't have the CRM, if you don't have the admin time scheduled in to support this, why would the universe bring you more clients? That would be causing more stress. You would be freaking out more if you booked all of these clients than you would if you didn't book another one. Does this make sense? Is it landing? Let me know. Usually yes, but I've done both. Corey says I need to work on this. I know there's some holes, but I'm not 100% what to submit to cover it up. Yep, it does. I never thought of it that way. This is the thing. I spent the entire month of April, Caleb and I went through all of our workflows, all of our strategies, and completely redid it. I rebuilt out my workflows. I changed the verbiage. You know, I'm sure we've all bought the workflows in the past, or we've just set it up, or like just a basic workflow. I finally took the time to update all of the forms, update how I speak now, update what my soulmate clients would resonate with, put in the proper steps so that if I did book a bunch of clients at once, it didn't feel like chaos. Now, I worked on this for the entire month of April. It was a lot of back end work, but it immediately paid off. In May, we launched a model call, booked 23 sessions. And I think we only have like 5 stragglers right now who haven't set up a prepayment plan or completed what they needed to because the workflow was organized. So the very first piece is preparation. Please, 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 please dedicate the time to put your workflow into place or to create a workflow if you don't have one. It doesn't have to be super complicated. If you're just now building your business, it gets to be easy. It gets to be simple. Maybe you already have a framework and you just need to bring it up to date with where your business is at now. So for example, my workflows were created in 2017. My processes are so much different now in 2023 than they were in 2017. So who's guilty of just letting their old workflows ride and not updating them as the business evolves? Yeah, see, for those who struggle, I found that working backwards on a piece of paper helps. I love it. That's a great tip. Taylor says, yep, me. Here's the thing. So a lot of us have workflows, but we just haven't updated them. So I invite you to take the time to work on them. Just go double check them. Just go look at them. So what pieces of your launch workflow do you need to currently update before your next offer? So if we're going to plan out an offer today, what do you need to update? drop it below. Make yourself a little checklist. What have you been ignoring in your business on the back end that would serve you for this launch? I'm catching up on comments here. Me, I could definitely change the language to fit better. Exactly, Macy. Yep, I'm working on updating the tone now because I talk differently and our focus has shifted. Yes. Emails need updated for newsletter. Sierra's working on that. Your workflow needs some TLC. Contracts are different. Yes, I need a proper workflow. Trying to do it all on the fly without automation takes too much time and is inevitable. I miss something. Another thing we want to think about is when we are creating these launches, we're not just trying to have our biggest high cash month. We're not just trying to get 20 people in one model call and then we're done. We're thinking long term, we're thinking longevity. So even if we book 2 people off of this offer, that is success because we know that our workflow is sustainable. We know that that's 2 more people than we had going into this, and it's compounded consistency. So that's another big thing I want you guys to take away from this is you don't have to book all of your clients for the year off of one offer, off of one promotion. Have fun. Learn this framework today, learn the structure, identify your audience and where it's at so that you can replicate this and do it again and again. Setting up my CRM, my website, adding in a call option, reword my automation. Okay, I love these lists. So you guys, you have things to work on. We're excited, we're ready. Step 3, so after you do preparation, we're gonna move into prevention mode versus cleanup mode. Now, if you're in my behind the scenes membership, you've heard me talk about this probably in Proxability too. Prevention mode versus cleanup mode. We want to run our businesses from prevention mode. We don't want to be in the energy of cleaning up, of putting out the fires. So do you feel like, are you running your business from prevention mode where you are addressing the problems, where you're addressing questions prior to when the clients come in? Or do you feel like you are still doing a lot of cleanup where your clients are still asking a bunch of questions where people are missing an email, people aren't answering, they're not setting up their prepayments on time? Where do you feel like your business is? Do you feel like it runs smoothly because you're operating from prevention mode, which means you have the links to schedule your calls, you have the links to set up your prepayment plan, you have the automated canned emails that say, hey, if you want collection, the desire collection, your monthly payment is this, your email or your biweekly payment is this, your weekly payment is this? Or do you feel like every time a client emails you, you're in cleanup mode? You're having to draft a huge response. You're having to come up with the answer on the fly because we hadn't prepared for this. Yeah, cleanup. Ooh, prevention for the most part. Good. Prevention. It's a mix. Honestly, it's the prepayment plan boundaries that I have to figure out. Prevention for the most part, depending on which topic. Good. So identifying where you're at, and it could be different in multiple different genres. So what steps, now that we've dug into prevention versus cleanup mode, what steps do you need to implement prior to your launch that would bring your business back into prevention mode? So if you are in cleanup mode, is it your content? Do you really need to map out who you're speaking to before the sale, before the offer? Is it the automation that we were talking about previously? Is it your workflows? Is it engagement? Do we need to work on our engagement beforehand? That way you're not running around trying to get everybody's attention while you're launching. I need to add more text in my workflow, get them set up on a prepayment plan quicker. These are all such valuable things. So what I will do for you guys is I will actually download this chat and upload it in a file so you can scroll back through the chat afterwards and look at what you commented so you can make a list for yourself. No problem. But what steps do you need to implement prior to launching that would bring your business back? So for example, something that I like to do is just do an engagement awareness. Now, depending on how you run your group, some people spend a lot of time prepping for a launch, like weeks upon weeks, months upon months of preparing and hyping and teasing and saying something is coming. And sometimes that can be energetically draining. So if you have some past hesitation, some PTSD from failed launches in the past because you hyped and you hyped and you hyped and you prepared for months and months and months and it didn't work. I've got 3 little engagement hacks that have worked well with my group. So, for example, I don't do a lot of, I don't do any anymore, any memes or games or anything like that in my group. I've had my group since 2015. We are very much in prevention mode. We are very much in organic marketing to where we're only posting pictures of our work and we're only posting intentional content with subconscious marketing and captions that are relevant to our clientele. Now, not everybody's group is going to be like that. That's completely fine. That's not what this program's for. It's not to tell you how to run a group. It's just to help you identify where your group is at. I've got 3 little questions that I like to throw into my audience right before I'm about to drop something. So here's my engagement hack. Android or iPhone. Do one of those colorful text backgrounds on Facebook. Put it up there, Android or iPhone. I don't know why this works. People love to tell you what type of phone they have. It's so easy, super huge. What's your birthday month? Again, everybody has a phone and they're going to be Android or iPhone. Everybody has a birthday month. They're going to drop it. And then what time did you see this? I absolutely love the post that's like, hey, Facebook's squashing my algorithm. What time did you see this? So save these. You guys will get the slide deck to this. If you want like a supercharged engagement thing without hyping for weeks and weeks and weeks and stressing yourself out for that, these 3 work nicely. They're simple, they're easy, and it gets a lot of people organizing. Okay, Charlotte, how often do you encourage posting per day? There's so much mixed stuff out there with different beliefs. I'd love to hear your input. I love this. And again, remember, this is what has worked well for myself and my mentee clients. So feel free to freestyle from this. When I'm in the middle of a launch, let's say a creative call or a model call, I'm posting 3 to 5 times a day with only, and I actually have this on a slide coming up that you guys can look at, with only my boudoir work. I'm not doing like extra little things, and it is all based on the promo. So I have a very short launch time frame, a short launch timeline. I'll show you. My launches are only 3 days, which, whatever. Sometimes it works for people. Sometimes they desire a longer launch, but I know my energy. See, a lot suggest 15 to 20 during the hype. Yep, I've seen that too. For me, when I used to do the 15, 20, tried the games, tried all that, but I really like 3 to 5 very intentional posts talking about the offer, because my question is like, what do we want to sell? Boudoir sessions. So what are we going to show? Boudoir sessions. I want to flood their feed with my name, with my work, and with my offer. So I'll dive into that deeper on these next slides, but this might be the most important slide of the workshop. So we are going to identify your current audience type. So here in a second, I'm going to move to a slide that shows you the exact breakdown of what your launch could be, what your offer could be. But before we do that, we need to recognize what type of audience you're in. Miranda, am I the only one who doesn't see the slides? I'm looking on Facebook and it's showing the slides. So can you guys let me know? It's showing. Okay, you see them? Miranda, you might want to try to exit out. Okay. Current audience types. I have found that there are 2 types: nurturing and adrenaline. Now, have you guys ever thought about your audience in this way? Normally, you're going to fall in one or the 2. And here's the thing to understand. Your audience is going to change. This is not concrete. This is not lifetime. It is going to ebb and flow as you evolve, as your business evolves, as the seasons change. Your audience type is going to flow. So you want to be sure before you launch anything, you tap into, is my audience more in the nurturing or is my audience more adrenaline based? My my audience has been very nurturing based since about 2020. So 2017, 18, 19, the super quick, fast paced Black Friday sales, my audience was very adrenaline based. In 2020, something shifted with buyer behavior, and our audience is very much, very much nurturing based. And I'm going to get into that. So nurturing audience, they appreciate the guidance. They need a little extra nudge. So what I mean by that is this audience normally responds well to a model call. They're in the energy of, oh, I'm just going to fill out this application. What's it going to hurt? She's not going to pick me. She's not going to pick me. He's not going to pick me for that model call. There's going to be so many other, they're basically like tossing their name in the hat, subconsciously hoping that like, if they have to pick me, then I'll do it. But it's not stepping up to the plate like an adrenaline based audience saying, I'm signing up for this. Can you guys feel the shift? So adrenaline based audience are very fast paced. They just need a short time frame, like a Black Friday sale, like a 48-hour flash sale, like a Christmas and July sale that's only available for 2 days. They normally respond really well to flash sales because it's that adrenaline kick. It's super fast. And that promotion, they're utilizing the energy of do it now. It's now or never. They're almost in like FOMO vibes of like, ooh, I got to do this or else I'm going to talk myself out of it. So identifying this and looking at this, where do you feel your audience is landing currently? So it could have been completely different in the past, but what we want to do is look at it currently right now. I'm catching up on comments. I feel like mine are more nurturing. Adrenaline-based Black Friday sale did the best. Model call applications, but they not always convert. So maybe this could be their more adrenaline-based. I think mine is nurturing with a mix of adrenaline. Flash sales haven't worked well in the past, but I also wasn't prepared. So this is another thing while we're identifying where our current audience is, you can compare it to your past experiences, but then also take into account, did it not work because it was my audience type, or did it not work because I was in cleanup mode, because I didn't do the preparation, because my content wasn't there to speak to that soulmate client. So it's a lot of different things that we want to look into while we're digging into this. But thumbs up, head nods, chats. Is the audience part making sense? Like your current audience type, deciphering where you're at, who you are, and why it's important to identify before you go into something else. Perfect. And if you don't know, okay, Reba just said this, I'm not sure I know my audience type since I'm always in cleanup mode. So this is where you get to move into curiosity. And this is where you have to have lots of flexibility and grace with yourself, that if something doesn't sell out, and here's another mindset shift. Does anything ever have to have a certain number? Like, could one person be selling out your offer? Absolutely, because it's one more booking than you had before you offered it. You know what I mean? So instead of being in the energy of, I have to get all of my bookings, yes, we want to dream. Yes, we want to manifest. Yes, we want to open ourselves up to as many soulmate clients that want to come through. We also don't want to be strangling ourselves into, you have to get 5 bookings or else you're a failure. No. Even if you get no bookings, it's a perfect opportunity to learn what works well for you and what doesn't work well for you. That way you can ditch what no longer works. So maybe you do an adrenaline based offer, like a 48-hour flash sale, and it doesn't work well. That's where you get to go into curiosity and say, maybe my audience is more nurturing. Maybe I get to shift it and try something new. So if you can get into the mindset of entrepreneurship is just a big trial and error, you're not actually failing at anything. It's all just data collection. You're just taking more notes for yourself. You're just learning more bits and pieces of information. You release a lot of stress and it makes your job a whole lot more easier. Okay, the straggling is definitely me 99% of the time. Do you think we can nurture in the 3 days prep? I do. And I'm going to get into that timeline. I think It's also going to be strategically. So like, for example, my model call in May, it was a lot of prep in April. So it was speaking to my audience consciously and not just throwing up, oh, hey, here's a session. It was laying the foundation of I'm engaged, I'm interacting, I'm preparing my back end, and just being very intentional with your prep beforehand. Okay, so let's look at a nurture audience promo. So here's the framework. This right here, you guys, is what we get to implement and what you get to shift. So if you feel like your audience is in the nurture phase, here's a framework that could work really well for you. An application-based offer. What I mean by that is something where they have to fill out a form, email you, answer a question, get on a call, whatever it is, to apply for the offer. So this is setting that subconscious groundwork of, ooh, I'm just going to toss my name into the hat. She's not going to pick me. He's not going to pick me. They're not going to pick me. And then you do pick them. And they're like, ooh, now I have to do it. So here's the framework for a nurture base application offer. My applications are very simple. It's their name, why they want to do it, their email, their phone number. And then sometimes I'm like, what product would you be interested in? An album, a folio, a meta wall art. I don't have a long form application because here's the thing, I don't want them to psych themselves out. If you're asking really deep philosophical questions, like life altering, like how would a boudoir session change your life and transform your inner soul? Like that's really heavy and that's really deep. Something as simple as, why do you want to do it? It's going to give you enough information to be like, okay, they gave me a good answer, or they just said yes. I've had people who fill out a model call application and the question is, why do you want to do it? And they just say yes. No, you didn't even read the question. So application-based offer, just so there is some type of subconscious, I'm going to apply for this. I'm not being, I'm not treating myself or spoiling myself. I'm not being greedy by booking myself a boudoir session when I could be spending on the kids or whatever. I'm applying for this to help Kiera, to help the photographer. They feel like they're doing you a favor. They want to be part of that team. They want to be part of that helpfulness. So this works really well with 40 over 40 campaigns, body image campaigns, like health worker campaigns or a certain entrepreneur campaign. Does this make sense? The application-based part of like, they're doing this because deep down they want to do it, but they're just not brave enough. They don't quite have that motivation to inquire for a session on their own yet. So this is a perfect opportunity to give them a chance to enter your doors. Make sense? We'll move on to the next part. Now, the second part, your pricing. Okay, sweet spot pricing. $199 session fee has worked tremendous for me. Again, pricing is relative. It's going to come down to you and your business. So if you're like, no, that's way too cheap, bump it up to what feels good. If you're like, no, that's way too high, bump it down to what feels good. The thing is here, I find that 99s work really well for a session fee. $199 looks way more appealing than $200. And I think actually, yes, I've got a whole slide on this, which I'll get into. But here's the framework. So no theme, and I'll tell you about that in a second on the next slide. I forgot I broke all this down for you guys in written terms too. I don't require a release. So the intention for your offer, for your promo is very important. Are you doing this to get more content to show your audience, or are you doing this to get bookings? If you're doing this to get bookings and to fill your calendar, I don't require a release, even if you call it a model call. So the framework for a nurture audience is very like you're dropping subtle hints, you're leaving the subconscious breadcrumbs. Pricing, I don't do, this is optional, but I did not do a collection credit or extra discount. So for example, the last model call that I ran was an application-based model call. It was a $199 session fee. There was no theme. There was no release required. It was literally a $199 session fee flash sale set up as a model call. The reason this worked is because I understood that my audience was in the nurture phase. So they needed it set it up as a model call to apply because they're just going to throw their name in the hat. They're just going to see if she'll pick me in order to book because they weren't in the energy of, I'm just going to do this for myself. They weren't there yet. Does that make sense? So let me get into the next slide of understanding the sales psychology and why it does work for a nurture audience. So the application base, you could do this as a model call. You could do this as a creative call. I differentiate a creative call as something that's more niched. So maybe it's like the gold flake or a neon room or a bondage session. So that's niching yourself down a little bit, which is perfectly fine. I do creative calls when the intention is to do something to shake my audience up, to try something new. I do a model call when my intention is to get bookings, to fill the calendar. So the reason why it works is because their energy supports the extra hand holding of utilizing an application to serve this, to secure the session. They need that extra pump. They need that extra reason as to why to apply. They feel connected and supported to you. Now that you've reached out and selected them, you're not just a random photographer on Facebook. You are somebody who has made that personal connection. You've read their email. You've personally reached out to them. So what I found is normally the people who book these are lurkers. They aren't necessarily my top contributor. Sometimes I've never even seen their name pop up, but that model call was that opportunity. That application was that opportunity for them to step into the spotlight a little bit. It's the missing link to welcome them into your studio. So for example, for mine, even though it was just a $199 session fee sale, set up as a model call, I had 23 bookings as opposed to if I would have ran that as a flash sale, maybe would have had one or two because my audience was in the nurture phase. Does this make sense? Is it landing? So a lot of the times people maybe try a flash sale, try a Christmas in July sale. That's coming up. And they run it as a flash sale and they don't get anything. And then they get discouraged because they're like, my marketing's not working. My audience isn't responding. It's because your audience wasn't in that phase. They weren't ready for a flash sale. That's not the type of buyer. That's not the type of consumers that they are. So it's very important to recognize what type of consumer you're attracting. This makes so much sense why model calls work way better than flash sales for me. Exactly. And this was something, so I remember Black Friday of 2020 after 2017, 2018, and 2019 had sold out for us. 2020 and 2021 were massive flops. I spent like 6 or 7 weeks prepping. I was so excited and it crushed me. I remember looking at Caleb and I was just like, we booked like one. After that huge adrenaline rush of years past of doing like $99 session fee sales, it crumbled and I felt like we were starting from the bottom. I didn't know what was happening, but it was just recognizing and understanding buyer behavior, which I don't think is talked about in the photography industry enough, is we just keep trying what's always worked for us instead of trying new things, instead of taking the step back and actually putting on our marketing business owner hats. We just keep pushing into what's always worked instead of looking at buyer behavior and trying to understand the sales psychology and the evolution that your business is going to change over time. Buyer behavior changes over time. In every other industry, they're always looking at analytical reports. They're always looking at what their consumers are doing, what they're interacting with. And I think sometimes as creatives, we forget to bring that back into our business. My little brain is exploding right now. Yes. Model calls definitely work better in my group. This is affirming, reframing last minute sessions as application-based muse calls. Last week, I decided that I wanted to shoot outdoors in our creek. So I put up a $399 discounted session fee. Normally it's $750. As a last minute opening for an outdoor water session, but I made it application based. I booked it. I only had one available because they needed that application. Why? I don't know, because people just need that extra step. And don't worry, if your audience is more adrenaline based, I've got slides to explain this part too. So the nurturing audience, sweet spot pricing, $199 looks way, way more appealing than 200, even though it's literally the same. You just have to identify your audience's tipping barrier. So whether that be $199, $299, $799, that's something that I can't tell you because I don't know your audience. So look at your business. As always, make sure you have a strong cancellation fee. That way, if somebody does jump on the deal and they try to cancel later, you have a cancellation fee in place, of course. So no theme. If your intention is to fill as many spots as possible, this opens up your offer to everybody. So if you were to do like a bondage theme or a neon room theme or a bubble bath theme or an outdoor theme, literally any theme, you're excluding somebody. So this is why no theme, the way I structured it. So here's your education. The way that I promoted it is, hi group, I'm in a new season of life. Cece no longer is attached to my boob and breastfeeding 24/7. I miss the studio. I'm physically able to shoot more. So let's celebrate this new season of life by opening up more model call sessions, and you don't have to sign a release. So all of my teachers, all of my healthcare workers, all of my people of influence in the spotlight who couldn't do a normal model call, but weren't yet ready to inquire themselves because they needed that hand holding, they are not able to participate in this model call. So if you're not in a season of life change, one of my favorite things is to say, hey group, I've taken a lot of education this year. I've gone to a lot of trainings. I've done a lot of photography workshops. I'm looking to implement this education. I guarantee that we have all gone to some type of workshop, training, or whatever, and we haven't used that as a way to market. It could be, hey group, I'm feeling inspired again. I would love to get more of you on the book so I could try out my new ideas. It doesn't have to be a new theme. It doesn't have to be a new bonus set to do your marketing. It can simply be because maybe you have come out of a really rough time in your personal life. Maybe you're going through a life transition or whatnot, and say, you know what? I know I've been a little disconnected. I know I've been MIA. I've been going through some personal things, but I'm falling back in love with my business again, and I want to help impact as many of you as possible. And that's the reason you're doing the model call. So identifying the content piece of how you're going to market it is very important too. So hopefully that helps. I feel like my excitement and creativity is back. Cannot wait to try some of this and fix the back end. Yay, Brie. I love that. Oh, I love this. I'm still breastfeeding and dying to be able to work again. No daycare yet either. Yeah, same. We don't, Caleb's a stay-at-home dad with Cece when I'm at session. So I feel that on the childcare thing. So that is why it works for a nurture session. Let's get into the adrenaline-based audience. So who in here, drop it in the comments, raise your hands. Who feels like their audience is more adrenaline-based right now? Do we have anybody who's leaning more towards, I know Stephanie, for example, has a really great, she's in Proximity, adrenaline-based audience, and it's been working great for her. So drop in the comments if you feel like you're adrenaline-based. Is this landing? Are you guys feeling creative and inspired? Joe says definitely not now, maybe later. Yes, Stephanie. Yes, Macy. So this is really good too, to understand and identify, even if you're not in the adrenaline phase right now, your audience will shift. It is inevitable that your business will shift. So it's good to understand both sides. And you may have some people who flow into the mix. So here's the framework. It's basically, I'm going to get into the logistics, but here's the framework. Limited spots or time frame based. So like 24-hour flash sale, last minute opening for 2 weeks from now, a big Christmas in July, a big birthday sale, a Mother's Day sale, Black Friday sale, like big time savings. Think big, think massive, think like semi-annual sale. And normally these do really well with lower session fees. So like the no-brainer, $99 session fee. So for my business, I won't do a $99 session fee. It's just, it doesn't attract the right buyers for myself, but for lots of people, it does. Again, just making sure your cancellation fee is secure and you have your back end in place to support anything that could come up along the way. So this is a broad theme. So, for example, what works well is a birthday creative call, a birthday themed model call. So, as the nurture based doesn't necessarily have to have a theme. You could do that for adrenaline based, but sometimes they just need a little bit of a theme to help identify. So, like a pay your age birthday sale. Everybody has a birthday. They're going to be like, oh, got it. Oh, Charlotte literally just said, pay your age. 16 clients booked in. Amazing. So, shock factor or little hints of the actual sale. So, if we go back a page, you can see that in the nurture based audience, the subtle hints, the subconscious breadcrumbs of like something is coming. Hey guys, get on my email list. I have a surprise coming. A selfie saying I'm working behind the scenes on the big surprise that I'm going to drop. That works really well. For the adrenaline based, I'm going back to our page here, shock factor. Just dropping those 3 engagement hacks of like, are you Android or iPhone? Maybe it's the smash or pass game that does really well in a lot of groups. And then just bang, dropping it, tagging everyone if you do that. Like the shock factor works really well here with the adrenaline. So I find that sometimes if my audience is in the adrenaline phase, little hype works out well. Again, you're going to want to trial this out. You're going to want to feel into what's going to work best for your business. Things that work well for this is like buy now, pick your date later. So like maybe they buy the session fee and then they get on a call the next week to pick their date. Something fast, last minute openings, flash sales, guinea pig sessions. So sometimes these are called like muse calls. But if you're tired of using the word muse, I will literally say like, hey, who wants to be my guinea pig and come test this out? You'll say $500 off your session fee. I need you in within the next 2 months. And they're like, this is almost a bit of both. They're in the adrenaline, like, ooh, I want to be the first one to do this. I want to test this out. But they're also in the nurture phase. So this is great if you're both of, I want to help them. I want to help the photographer. I'm serving the community by testing this new scene out. So that's a way you can mix them both. So understanding sales psychology and why it works for the adrenaline-based audience, no application. They don't have time to talk themselves out of it. They are just going for it because they are like, boom. They see it, they go. If there was an application, there is a spot for them to be like, wait, no, the adrenaline's worn off. I don't want to do it. And they leave, okay? Their energy supports the fast action time frame. For example, 24 hours or last minute opening or only 3 spots available. Like if your audience responds well to fast, that's going to be good. It's now or never. They're in the energy of YOLO, might as well do it. Like time's ticking. I need to get on it. Whereas the nurture based audience is very like, let me help serve the community. Yes, let me tell you why I want to be a model for you because I've gone through all of these life situations and it would just bring me back to inner peace or healing body acceptance or whatever their story is. The adrenaline people, they just want to buy. They're just in it because YOLO. You might as well. You know, like they love a good deal, like a Black Friday sale. So a lot of the times these are active members who have been excited. Maybe they're your top contributors. Maybe it's somebody who comes to your in-person events. Maybe it's a past client. Past clients are really great for adrenaline-based sales because you don't have to do the explaining. They already know they love you, so they're able to just click the session fee, buy now, and be on their way. So if you have a past client group, I have a past client group specifically for those who've already done a session. Adrenaline-based offers work super great for them. Ooh, I might have to do a guinea pig session. Yes. So the surprise factor of the offer, it enables them to move with the adrenaline and go for it Whereas if they had to inquire with an application-based offer, it doesn't give them enough reason. They'll talk themselves out of it. You know what I mean? So let's move into sweet spot pricing for adrenaline based. Like I said, $99 looks way more appealing than your normal $500 session fee, than your normal $750 session fee. Adrenaline is a great way to do something if your audience is in this energy right after you raise your prices. So maybe you raise your session fee from $400 to $750, then you have a $99 flash sale. Bam, that's a no-brainer opportunity. Again, cancellation fees. Broad theme. So this is what I was speaking on about birthday calls or a pay your age, maybe outdoor. So something that they can identify with that triggers the subconscious thought of, hey, that person's talking to me, but it's not too niched. Do you see what I mean? So a creative call, we did a creative call for our VIP bondage room. Okay. It worked great. However, I know very well that there were people who did not book that because that's not their style. So if my intention is to be creative and to show my artistry and to try out a new set, great, do a creative call. If my intention is to fill my calendar, my audience is hot, they're ready to go, do a broad theme birthday sale. Everybody has a birthday. The education that you bring into it is like, hey, I want you guys to be excited about growing older. Over the years, I've identified that my best years are not behind me. They are actually in front of me. I'm looking forward to each and every day. I don't want humans to feel like we have to fear aging. Let's use 2023 as a way to revolutionize and take back aging and get excited about it. Book yourself a birthday session here. Boom. Just something quick. You know what I mean? So no release, again, even if you're doing like a flash sale or an adrenaline based offer, I would no release it. If you don't need the content, this is just a great way to attract more bookings. So how are we feeling? Are you guys inspired? We are not done yet. I just want to check in because I've thrown a lot of information your way right now. Does this make sense as to why maybe something hasn't worked for you in the past? Maybe you've been trying Black Friday sales for a while and trying the same flash sale method, but in reality, your audience was nurture based. So I still do flash sales. I still do $199 session fee sales. However, they're set up as a model call. So to the consumer, to the client, it doesn't feel like a flash sale. Something I also want to put in, let me see what this next, okay. This bottom part for the adrenaline based offer, sometimes what I like to do is add in an extra bonus. So maybe that's a session or a collection credit. So like $300 off collections. Maybe it's, like a free ice block if they buy your middle collection or above. So sometimes with the adrenaline based, it makes it that much easier for them to say yes. These are like your really juicy ones. Make sense? My nurture-based audiences, I don't normally discount. It's just a discounted session fee and my averages stay the same. So I'm still, making 53, etc., 100 off or on that one session, even though it's a discounted shoot. Okay, Terry says this makes so much sense, but what if you were trying to build a new audience? How would you approach this? So this is where you just get very curious, try to play around in your content. Go ahead and start asking questions, asking them where they are in their life right now. What season of life are they in? If you feel like people are moving quickly, they're doing fun things, or do you feel like your group is more softer, more conversational? I would play around. So if you're building a new audience, something very important that you want to go into is trial and error. So this is where it's important to harness your energy during your launch, that you're not in the energy of, oh, well, if I don't book this, I failed. No, you're collecting data. You're recognizing, okay, this is what I know I can bring with me next time. And it's having fun with the trial. So something that I was talking to the mastermind with the other day is like, we are creative people. So we should be creating these new offers. We should be having fun with it. You shouldn't be beating yourself up. And if you want to, go for it. But I invite you to consider, like, don't beat yourself up if you don't book out 17 spots off one offer. Get excited about your next offer and try an adrenaline based, or get excited about the next one and try a guinea pig session. You know what I mean? So, really coming into it with the understanding that it's going to take practice, but it gets to be fun. Okay, what do you do if you want some content to share, but you also want to fill your books? So you need at least one person to sign a release and don't care about the rest. Probably somebody's going to sign a release. If not, I would just throw out a guinea pig session that requires a release. So if you just need one person, I would come up with like a no-brainer deal that you want to try out some type of new posing or something, call it a guinea pig session, make the release required, and then do a different offer. I would just separate the offers, one with a release, one without. Scrolling comments, sorry. Would you trial and error in new local groups? That just depends. Basically doing data collections in other areas and inviting them in. Yeah, if that's something that you're focusing on, of, expanding your audience and getting your name out there, you could definitely do like grow your audience and create a new wave of people and then trial different opportunities. This is the biggest thing, is like recognizing that we can't mess this up. We can't mess this up. If you go into it with preparation mode, and in the energy of, I'm in this business long term, we're here to build long-term longevity, sustainable results, that you don't have to book all of your clients this month. That really just unhook your brain from that. This is a long-term business. We want to keep creating different offers. We want to keep creating different promotions so your audience doesn't get bored. And that's why it's so important to understand which area and which zone your audience is in. So let's do a little logistics checklist. So when you guys are planning this after our workshop today, when you're like ready to launch, here's your little checklist. Intention of the offer. Are we filling the books, or are we creating content? So every time you go to launch something, use this little checklist. Okay, we're here to fill the books. And by fill the books, I mean get a booking. Even if you get one more booking, that's closer than what you were last time. So fill the books. What's the irresistible price point? Okay. Do you feel like it's $199? Is it $299? Come up with the irresistible price point. Have a strong cancellation fee. Are you doing theme or no theme? Are you requiring a release? And then the time frame. I'm about to get into the time frame and showing you guys what I post, when I post it, when to launch it. Also, I don't know if you also saw my post about this, you are all getting access to my scripts. So I have what I email people if I'm accepting them for an application-based offer, whether they are phone call and you're doing phone consultations, or if I'm doing booking online. So right now, all of my clients are booking online. For the last 8 years, I've done phone calls. But for the last 2 months, I've done all booking online, and it's been amazing. But again, this is something that you're going to have to choose on your own. Don't just do something because I'm telling you to. Trial and error it. Oh, you guys are so welcome. I'm excited. And again, if my verbiage does not sound like something you say, like if you get the email and it sounds too professional or too casual, mix it up, use your own language, but it'll be a wonderful framework for you. And please, if the hyperlink leaks, make sure you change it to your own booking site. That way people aren't booking mine. Yay. Okay, Joe, I was thinking about mini sessions for my birthday, maybe 5, but now I'm thinking full booking on my new sets. Ooh. Okay, Sarah, would you recommend switching from a nurturing method to a more adrenaline-based method when someone's warmed up and you've got them on the phone, like offering an incentive for booking? Yes, Sarah. So this is a really, really good question. For example, if I'm not running an offer and somebody does take the self-led power to reach out and fill out my inquiry form for a normal session, there's always some type of session fee sale on my phone call. I don't advertise it. I don't talk about it online anywhere. But there's always some type of summer sale, spring sale, summer solstice, full moon sale, whatever you want it to be. There's always a discounted session fee. So my session fee is $750, but if I'm talking to somebody, they can book in at $299 or whatever I want it to be that day, if I feel like they are a great match, and that's the adrenaline based. Now, you're like, okay, what if somebody says, oh, well, can I book on Friday when I get paid and your consult call is on Monday? What I do is, depending on what day of the week it is, I say, I did have my birthday session fee sale happening last week. However, I know our call was scheduled for today on Monday. I'm happy to extend it to you for today. So I just set the parameter of when this session fee sale ends before I let them ask the question of, oh, well, can I just pay you on Friday? And then if they do say that, I say, sure, I can take a card number over the phone and run it on Friday for you. They're either A, being genuine, and they'll let you run it on Friday, or they'll come up with some excuse about how they have to ask their husband or whatever, and they weren't being honest in the first place, and they were just trying to get out of saying, no, you're not currently in my budget right now. So that's a great way to kind of feel it out too. Terry says, I love everything. So I did that with my client a week ago, offered her pay your age. She booked in a collection higher than her original one listed because of it. I love this. I think I'm actually completely changing my Christmas in July sale based on this. Thank you. Ooh, I'm excited for you guys. But yeah, if you wanted to do an adrenaline based offer on the phone, I would just make sure you have it somewhere in writing. Like if you decide to add in, like, oh, if you book in today, actually you get a free ice block with a purchase of a collection. Make sure you go add that in your contract or something somewhere. So one, you don't forget and they don't think they can just walk away with the ice block or whatever. But I love that. Okay, here we go. Are you guys ready for the launch timeline? More strategies. I told you I was giving you everything. The verbiage, the timelines. Okay, so where are my nurture-based audiences? Here we go. Okay, we're going to do some subconscious dropping here on Friday night. So here you go. It's a Friday afternoon. I will normally post a selfie or like a super spicy photo that will just really grab. So do you guys have those sessions where you know that when you post them, you just absolutely blow the group up? So for me, like if Caleb and I do selfies, if it's a very well-known person in our community, I just know that those sessions are going to blow the group up. I save those for my something is coming post. Or I'll just grab my phone and like take a picture in the office and be like, ooh, I'm working on something. I do that small little drop on Friday. On the weekend, I don't stress myself out on this. People like, they're not on their phones on the weekends anyways. I just drop those 3 extra engagement posts. So maybe Saturday, you're posting your work, you're showing your family, you're doing the fun things, you drop a smash or pass game. And then on Sunday, you're like, hey, do you guys have an Apple or Android? Or you're like, what's your I keep saying Gemini sign. I'm a Gemini. What's your sign? And have them drop that. What month were you born? And then Sunday night, I would drop hey guys, I think Facebook is squashing my reach right now. Can you comment what time you see this? So that people are going to be commenting all night, all morning. And then Monday, I announce it. I make a big announcement post. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have all of this new education and training this year. It's been a year of growth and expanding for me, and now I'm ready to bring it forth to you, babes. I yada, 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 am doing this model call, apply here. And then I'm talking about it, I'm talking about it, I'm talking about it, I'm talking about it. I am posting 3 to 5 days, Monday through Wednesday. So for a nurture-based audience. Now, this is very important. I would launch the first 3 days to where you have 2 days immediately following that you can do phone calls. If you are consult call based, which means you're calling all of these applicants, please, please, please launch on a day where you can immediately do those phone calls. So if somebody applies on Monday and I have time to do a phone call on Monday, I won't wait until Wednesday to start going through applications. I will go through as they come in so that I can start scheduling those calls as soon as possible. Because I hate the term like warm and cold leads. Like they are people, they are humans that we're connecting with. I want them to be the most interested and I want to be at the front of their mind. So I'm launching Monday through Wednesday and I'm scheduling calls Thursday and Fridays so that it's still within that same week. I don't want to have to launch on a Monday. They fill out the application Monday and not be able to get them on the phone until next Thursday. So this comes into planning your preparation mode. So when you are in prep mode, map out your dates. Don't just willy-nilly throw up a sale because it sounds fun because you need money. If you launch anything just because you need money, it's going to fail. That's some money mindset healing we can do in another workshop. But the intention should be thought out that impact and income. You're going to be impacting these clients. You're going to be helping better their lives. And you're also earning an income, but you have the time to do the consult calls. Okay. So heavily based if you are getting them on the phone. If you're booking online, you have a little more leeway. So here's your content timeline for a nurture audience. As a reminder, you guys will have access to these slide decks. So you can pull them up on your phone whenever you want. 6 months from now, if you forget and you want to relaunch something, this is what's worked for me. Use this as a framework, not as a cemented statue, which means trial your own spins on it. 3 to 5 posts per day of launching. So Monday through Wednesday, I am posting 3 to 5 times about the offer, about the promotion. Now, I may have other posts throughout the day of just like random sessions, cool bonus scenes, an album I'm packaging up, but there are 3 to 5 posts per day. So if you are launching Monday through Wednesday, your audience should be able to see that promotion 15 times, 5 times a day for 3 days. Now you're like, oh, that sounds like a lot. I want you guys to think about how many times you saw me post about this current workshop. How many times did you see me post about Go Time? Freaking a lot. And this was only a $111 offer. Now, how many times are we going to post about our $5,000 boudoir sessions? A lot. Yes. There's like at least 10. This is, I mean, what's that sales statistic from forever ago that it takes somebody 7 to 10 times to see something before they buy? Like that's sales 101. Now think about somebody stripping down on camera naked. This isn't just buying a TV on Black Friday sale. This isn't just a workshop that we're investing in for our business. This is a boudoir session. Show what you want to sell. No, you're not annoying your audience. If you're annoying them, they weren't your ideal clients anyway. So let them leave your group. Let them unfriend you. I do not care. When you get into that energy of like, I can't annoy my soulmate clients because if they were annoyed, they would have just scrolled on by or they would have left my field. They wouldn't be reading every word that I say, still contemplating the application, still contemplating signing up for this thing. Look at how many of you joined last night at like 10:30. How many times did you see me post about this? It's the same thing, okay? So don't stress yourself out. Nobody thinks you're annoying. If they do, who cares? They weren't going to book you anyways. You just have to come to that mentality of like, you're not here to serve everybody. There's a million other photographers who get to serve those people. You're here for your people. And that's a lot of mindset work about speaking your truth, activating your voice, and talking to your soulmate clients, but it's going to help you long term. So when you can get over the fear of being too much for anybody, one of my privates was like, when do you decide what to post? Like if you're promoting a workshop or a model call, whenever I'm thinking about it, I don't schedule it out. Like if I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for the birthday sessions, boom, go. Now, for model calls, for bigger studio offers like this, I do schedule them out. I do take the time to craft the content and schedule it out 3 to 5 times per day. However, if I'm excited about it through the day, I'll throw up post number 6, 7, 8. If I'm like working on something behind the scenes, if I'm going through applications, like unapologetically show up. So morning is the announcement. That's the big posts that I do saying, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. If you use the @everyone tag, that's normally when you would do that. Mid-morning is a tangible. So we're going to get into tangibles here in the next slide. If you've ever worked with me before, you're probably rolling your eyes because I love tangibles and tangibles are a game changer. So a tangible, for example, is the missing link to what your clients need. So for example, if you know your audience, maybe they, off the top of my head, maybe they struggle with body image and it's summertime, you're doing a Christmas and July sale. Your tangible could be, you know, what if this July it's a July afternoon, you go to the pool, you actually get in your swimsuit with the kids and splash around because you feel more accepting of your body right now because you had that boudoir experience. Instead of being like, hey, I have some discounted sessions open, put them in a tangible scenario that they can think of. And in a couple slides, we're going to be creating tangibles for you guys here. Afternoon is just an easy short form post of like, hey, did you see the offer? Don't forget either flash sale or nurture based audience, drop your promo. Evening time, I do another tangible, and then nighttime, I do another announcement openly speaking to, hey, apply here. Okay. So again, you'll have this link or this slide. Now, launch timeline for the adrenaline-based audience. Adrenaline-based audiences are normally shorter. So for example, Wednesday night, drop a super power engagement post. So like maybe it's the what time do you see this, the smash or pass. You know which posts perform really well in your group. And if you don't yet, start playing around, start trial and erroring. Thursday, Friday, announcement and launch the flash sale for 24 to 48 hours. Now, I like doing it on Thursdays and Fridays because people in the non-entrepreneurship world tend to get paid on Fridays. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. So flash sales on Friday, I know you're not supposed to launch on the weekend or whatever. It's worked well for me. So when you launch Thursday and Friday, if it's a short-term 24, 48-hour thing, I found that it's worked well. Normally the fast actions, the choose your date later, you can schedule the consult calls later on. Weekends can be used for last minute stragglers who are scrolling their phone at night. So if you do have a promotion open on a Friday and it's an adrenaline based and you do consult calls, I would have it set up to where they could buy their like session and then you get them on the phone next week and you do the call then to pick their date. So that way they still have to call you to pick and secure the date, but they've already paid their non-refundable session fee. And you can have the mental break on the weekend to recharge for your time next week. Makes sense? See, there is a shift in the nurture based versus adrenaline based. And then that Monday, you could also do same for nurture and adrenaline. You could do a last call or last minute call for, hey, I've opened up 2 more spots for the application. Or you could do the, I reopened the flash sale 1 more day for you stragglers type of deal. Now I don't know what I want to do for my birthday. See, there's so many ideas. Okay, content timeline for adrenaline. Basically the same post for the 2 to 3 days of launching. Sometimes the adrenaline base is a little bit shorter. So instead of 3 days, it's just 2 days. But remember, we want shock factor. So you could casually drop something like a week before to be like, hey, keep your eyes peeled. But it's normally like, bang, in your face. Again, play with it. But announcement, tangible, short form, post, did you see the offer? Nighttime is like your final warnings. The flash sale is going to be turned off type of vibes. Makes sense? Thumbs up. I'm grabbing a drink. Are your creative juices flowing? I'm having fun. I feel like I could create an offer right now. Okay, so this is a little bonus. This technically isn't launching, but we've got a few minutes left. So in the comments section, I want you guys, this is more content focused, but I'm a content queen, so we're going to dig into it. Identify the reasons why your soulmate clients would be booking this offer that you could bring into your content. So, for example, your nurture-based audience, if you're doing a promo project like 40 over 40 or the healthcare workers or the body image movement. Your content could be talking about healing the sisterhood wound and really coming together as women and being part of a community movement and reclaiming our power as sensual and sexual women. So maybe you're doing like a group bondage shoot or something that is taking back our sexual freedom as women and not hiding our pleasure and sensuality and things like that. You know what I mean? So like bringing that into your content instead of just saying, "Hi, I have a flash sale. You should book it." Instead of just saying, "Hey, apply for my group project." I want you to put them in the moment. Okay, Charlotte, Christmas in July, treating yourself for the holidays, getting the gift that they really want for themselves. So I would even go deeper. I would paint a picture and be like, it's Christmas morning, and you wake up and you unwrap another knockoff Bath and Body Works lotion and body wash set that somebody grabbed off the shelf from Target. It's cucumber melon or sweet pea that you used to wear in 8th grade, and for whatever reason, your secret Santa still thinks that women want cheap, flowery lotions as their Christmas gifts. Not this year. This year, you're taking back your power and treating yourself with your own gift. Enter in your Christmas in July sale. Feel that shift? Oh my God, Kira, how do you do that? I don't know. Words flow really well to me. Okay. And it's practice. Writing is just a muscle. Writing and speaking to your soulmate clients like this, it's muscle memory. So the more you practice, the easier it's going to be. And you can come up with it off the top of your head like that. So you're helping. Another thing for application based is like they're helping you bring your vision to life. So really diving into like, I've had this idea in my life or in my brain for such a long time. I really want to bring it to life. I'm looking for somebody who wants to partner with me for this creativity, like really leaning into like the helping you vibes. And then speak to how they are the person for this offer now. So like, what are the objections for boudoir sessions? Like, oh, I want to lose weight. I want to gain weight. So this is where you talk about how, you know, we're not guaranteed any certain amount of time. So many things could happen. What if you speak on how your body has given you every experience in your life up until this moment? Like pull on the emotions a little bit here, go into like, let's send our body some gratitude. Let's thank ourselves for where we're at right now. Despite whether or not it's where we think we should be, we're going to honor where we're at in 2023 right now. And I have an opportunity for you. Come into this model call, creative call, guinea pig session, whatever. Now, flash sale, adrenaline-based tangibles. Treat yourself. There's only a few spaces left. I know you're thinking about it. I know you're reading this post. I do this a lot. You guys have seen me do this. I'm like, okay, this is like the 90th post I've made. You're clearly still interested. You might as well go for it. Another one for adrenaline base is like, you've been waiting for your sign. Here's your sign. And there's only 12 hours left. Okay. Very like YOLO. Here we go. This is your chance. This is your sign from the universe. Do it. Another one that works great for adrenaline based, if you're doing a specific creative call instead of a model call, is you're the first person to test this scene. So in May, I did glitter baths. It was huge because she was like the first person to get to fill the clawfoot tub with glitter. And it was very like, ooh, popularity, like new idea. She was like, I'm so excited. I'm the first one. She actually booked another session for July because she loved the glitter one. And the July session, she is now the first one to trial out the Phoenix swing. So like you can see how it starts to play into your mind. So this is your bonus homework on top of all of the strategy and mindset prep and preparation and prevention mode and logistics. I want you guys to tap into some tangibles and try to map out your content while you're promoting this offer. Okay. Q&As. I told you this was a 90-minute workshop. We are at 89 minutes right now. We are doing so good. What questions do you guys have? I'm gonna pop I'm going to stop my screen so you can see my face and I can see all your faces. What questions do you guys have for me? Feel free to like use the little raise your hand symbol and you can come on and ask me questions. I know we just covered a lot and your brain is probably processing. Know that you have the replay. It's already streamed into the Facebook group. You don't have to wait for me to upload it. Today, I will be uploading the scripts. They are in Google Doc. Just copy and paste them into your own CRM, into your own document, email, use your own verbiage. Please, 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 if it does link my booking page, switch it to your own booking page. We have access to the slides. You said yes. So I'm going to download the Canva presentation and upload those. All of this will be ready this afternoon, this evening. I'll put it in the guides section. The Facebook group is open until Friday, so you can comment, you can, work with each other in the comments, bounce ideas around. After Friday, it will be archived. All that means is you can't like or comment. You can still go back and watch. You can still access the slides. You can still access the Google Doc. You'll have lifetime access to the replay to watch whenever you want. So I will be getting you the script for my yes email if I do consult calls and my yes email if I do online booking. It's basically the same thing, but 2 little shifts. You're so good. Not a question, but super excited to play with this all. Excited to run some things and plan my marketing out. I literally cannot wait for this. Thank you. I'm launching in a week. Holy crap. So perfect timing. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you love it. Does anybody have any specific questions that I haven't covered that you can think of? We covered a lot. My little ADHD brain is just getting wild. I'm going to come back later, map things out. I'm so thankful. I impulsively went for this. It's so valuable. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed this. My brain's exploding too. And I created all this last night and I was like, this is good. This is good. Okay, this is a great question. How often would you run model calls and flash sales? I'm sure there's a bunch of different answers all over. I used to say every quarter, but whenever you want. Switch it up so that it doesn't look like the same model call every single time. But here's the deal. I think sometimes somewhere along the way, somebody told us that organic inquiries from Google are somehow more valuable than a model call client. And that's just not the case. Hold on, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 8 years into exclusive boudoir, and I still do not fill my calendar with organic bookings. Okay. Like we can take, yes, Google inquiries and people who just book you randomly on their own. That's amazing and we love them. But also it does not negate any of the clientele who are booking them with model calls and flash sales. They're all equally as worthy. And when we can take them off a pedestal and just get excited about bookings in general and release the pressure of, oh my gosh, I just did a flash sale. Oh my gosh, I just did a special offer. It's marketing 101. Look at like a clothing store. They have sales all the time. It's knowing how to price and position yourself so that you can attract buyers. Again, it's a marketing strategy. Nobody is thinking, wow, she's running another sale. Nobody's thinking, wow, he's posting about that last minute offer again. I think we get a little selfish and we think that people are thinking about our business all day, every day, when really it's just because it's our own business. Now, there are people thinking about your business right now that you don't even know about, and that's expansive and that's exciting. But your audience is not thinking about your business 24/7 and obsessing over it like you are. So go ahead and run another flash sale. Go ahead and put up a creative call. Go ahead and do a model call. If it feels fun, go for it. Now, I will say, make sure you do an energetic check-in and say, am I doing this because it feels fun, or am I doing it out of scarcity because I feel like I need money? Scrolling up. I honestly don't care who fills my books as long as I'm serving my clients. Yep. Do you think Facebook groups are becoming a thing of the past? I think it depends on your audience. I still get most of my bookings from my Facebook group. I've had it since 2015. I have 8,000 and some, like 8,300 members. I think it very much focuses on It depends on buyer behavior. So not necessarily where your clients are coming from, whether that's Facebook groups or Instagram or TikTok, but I think it's how you're positioning your offers. Absolutely. Can Facebook groups become a thing of the past? Yeah, if you keep trying to do the same thing over and over again. If you're not incorporating in-person events, I totally believe that we have to be incorporating offline marketing as well and expanding our tethers outside of social media so that you don't have all your eggs in one basket. But I think that you can find evidence to support whatever you want to believe. So if people are saying Facebook groups are a thing of the past, I'm sure you can go find it. If people are saying Instagram is dead, I'm sure you can find something that supports that. And it really is just going to come down to, where do you want to show up in your business? If Facebook groups stress you out, if they feel hard, if they feel draining, yeah, it's probably not going to work. So go show up on Instagram. Or maybe you just want to connect locally and you want to host like in-person events at your studios and do lots of ladies' night and picnics and go hiking together and build a community offline. You can do that too. I think it really comes down to pouring your energy into what feels good and doing regular realignments. So every 4 to 6 months saying, does this still feel good? Or do I need to pivot? Is this still serving me or is this draining me? So I think being in the understanding that our businesses are supposed to evolve as we move forward, because we as humans do all of this personal development and healing and evolution, it would only make sense that our businesses do too, and they are going to change over time. Do you think it devalues your brand if you run a lot of sales? I've heard a lot of this lately. I don't. So I look at it more of the sense of, what's your intention? Are you doing it out of scarcity and throwing up ridiculous sales that, you know, you're giving away all of your collections for $200 because you're afraid you're never going to make another dollar? Absolutely, that's devaluing your brand. But if you're coming at it from a logistics standpoint, from a strategic marketing move of, I'm an entrepreneur and I understand buyer behavior, and I'm going to look at consumers right now and know that if a lower session fee gets them in the door, I can still hit my 4,800 average or whatever your goal collection is. I think that's a smart business move. And it's pulling in that marketing genius on top of your creative photography artistry. You can be the best photographer in the world, but if you don't understand marketing and business, then you're not going to run a sustainable business. Our goal here is sustainability and long term, and not just in this current moment. So I think that's a really big mindset shift too. I've yet to do an in-person event, but have plans this summer. I love that. Woo, this was good. Okay, you guys, I want to thank you all for doing this. I'm obsessed. I have all of these ideas for myself now. Utilize the group this week. Let me know what you have going on. So this was your strategy for online marketing. If you are excited for offline marketing, next month, I'm doing the Offline Marketing Master. It's basically going to walk us all through releasing the addiction to social media and strengthening your offline marketing magic. That way, when you feel like, the algorithms are low, your Facebook group is dying, or anything like that, this is a full-blown program, so it's not even a workshop. But I'll be sending an email out tonight. If you guys are interested in this, you may or may not be able to save like $550, and you will save more than you'll actually spend, but that's just a little bonus. I'll be posting about that later, but it's a great component. So knowing that you have the strategies for online launching and promos, if you compare it with offline marketing, it's like a perfect combination. So that's what's in the works. You'll get an email about it later. I just wanted to share with you guys because we finished the branding yesterday and I'm very excited about it, and it's going to be super fun. But I would love for you guys to share your ahas, share your breakthroughs, share your plans in the Facebook group this week. If you're watching on the replay, comment on the replay. Let us know how it goes. By tonight, you will have the scripts for the yes emails. you will have access to the slide deck. And then again, the replay is automatically available. If you ever have questions, feel free. You guys can just reach out and message me on Facebook or Instagram or my email or my website. It's all there. But that is a wrap. Thank you guys. I'm so glad you loved this. I had so much fun. Oh, I just saw one question. If you do something for Christmas in July, which is a Tuesday, does that still work for the adrenaline timeline? I also think so. Is July 25th, is that a Tuesday? Yeah, I think you could totally do it, or you could just do it that week. I think we put a lot of pressure on specific dates like Christmas in July. That could be any time in July, really. So like release the pressure if it happened to be perfect. And just do it when it feels good. But if you feel more confident in doing it on the 25th, then absolutely just run it for a couple days. Let it go, Tuesday through Friday. Or what I would do is run it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then reopen it Friday, like last call, because, payday, and have it as that. So, okay, that's all I've got. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I'll send an email out with the links to your replays and the slide decks and all of that. It'll be in the Facebook group. That'll be open until Friday. And then otherwise, I will see you guys around the internet. Bye.